What if I told you that one of hip-hop's biggest West Coast icons just exposed himself without even realizing it? What if I said the same Game who once claimed loyalty and respect for LA greats, just doubled back on his own words and confirmed exactly what fans suspected all along? Because that's exactly what's happening right now. In a brand new interview and a series of defensive comments online, the Game has gone from denying he ever sent subliminals at Kendrick Lamar to suddenly declaring himself the undisputed best rapper in Compton and the entire West Coast, in a way that completely blows his earlier denials apart. Today, we're breaking down why the Game's story doesn't add up, why fans were right all along, and why Kendrick absolutely was targeted, even when Game tried to make everyone feel crazy for connecting the dots. And trust me, once you see the patterns, you'll never look at Game's interviews the same way again. Before we dive in, support me by liking this and subscribing to this channel. It helps a lot. Now let's talk about what really went down. So here's where things started to get weird. Fans heard certain lines on Game's new album. These weren't minor jabs. They were the kind of strategically placed lines Game is known for slipping into songs when he wants to poke at somebody without naming them directly. But instead of owning it, Game jumped on social media and tried to shut the whole conversation down. He said fans were reaching. He insisted he wasn't dissing Kendrick. He acted shocked that anyone would even think that. But here's the thing. Whenever someone truly isn't dissing another artist, they don't get defensive. They just clear it up simply and move on. Game didn't do that. He got irritated. He got confrontational. He started ripping into fans, calling them weird and overly attached. That's not how someone behaves when they're innocent. That's how someone behaves when the truth is leaking out faster than they can cover it. And we're just getting started. Let's be honest for a second. Hip-hop fans aren't stupid. If you've been listening to rap long enough, you develop a sixth sense for subtle smoke, even when an artist claims they're not aiming at anyone. And in Game's case, this isn't his first time using subliminals and then pretending he didn't. The man literally has an entire career built on indirect shots, emotional contradictions, competitive ego flares, and sudden flip-flops depending on who he's mad at this month. So the moment he said, "If I have a problem with someone, you won't have to guess," everybody with a functioning memory went, "But we always have to guess with you." And that's the truth. This is the same Game who has dissed 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, and Eminem, three people who arguably shaped his entire trajectory. If he can go at men who literally built his career from the ground up, why would Kendrick Lamar, someone who didn't take his side during a major beef, suddenly be untouchable? Exactly. There is no sacred ground in Game's world, not even Compton royalty. A big reason fans instantly called out the subliminals is simple. Hip-hop lyric comprehension. People who grew up analyzing bars, storytelling structures, flows, and patterns know when a line isn't random, when it's pointed, crafted, and intentional. Game rapped with the exact same cadence and attitude he uses every time he's aiming a shot at someone. Slightly coded, slightly arrogant, but also slightly plausible deniable. The perfect recipe for a Game-style diss. Meanwhile, newer listeners, or what we'll call surface-level fans, heard the same line and went, "Yeah, he said it wasn't about Kendrick, so it must not be." No. If you understand how Game writes, the subliminals weren't just obvious, they were classic Game behavior. And we haven't even reached the biggest proof yet. Let's talk history. People forget that Game is one of the most emotionally unpredictable rappers ever. He'll praise someone one month, then swing on them lyrically the next. He once sold merch that said, "Hip-hop broke my heart." This is a man who wears his feelings like a billboard. He is talented, yes. He is competitive, absolutely. But he is also inconsistent, reactive, and often contradictory. So when fans who actually know his catalog heard the new album, they instantly recognized the pattern. This wasn't new. This wasn't surprising. This wasn't random. It was textbook Game. Meanwhile, people who only know him from a couple of mainstream singles were suddenly experts on how Game moves. But real fans? Real fans weren't fooled for a second. Let's revisit the line that started the storm. "I'm the king of LA, and the one you say is king can't do nothing about it." If Game says he wasn't talking about Kendrick, then who was he talking about? Who else do fans call king of LA? Who else has that title in modern times? Who else would even fit that reference? Nobody. So when Game says, "I didn't mean Kendrick," it becomes laughably impossible to believe. This is where logic enters the chat. If someone says, "I'm the king, and the king you crown can't touch me," there's only one king in that context. Only one. And his name starts with K. Now let's talk about another key detail everyone keeps skipping. In his defensive rant, Game said, "If it ain't a rapper in this soft industry who wants smoke." This line is important because Kendrick, for all his lyrical dominance, has always been labeled quiet, introverted, strategic, non-confrontational outside music, and mysterious. In other words, soft to certain aggressive, old-school rappers. And whether people agree or not, the industry labels Kendrick this way. So when Game says soft rappers and who wants smoke in the same breath, he's denying subliminals. He's not hiding his target. He's describing him. Then came the bombshell moment. Game sat down with Shannon Sharpe and was asked, "Are you the best rapper in Compton?" And without hesitation, without a second thought, he said, "Yes." Then, "Actually, I'm the best rapper on the entire West Coast." That alone was enough for fans to say he's talking about Kendrick. Because if he truly believed Kendrick was above him, he would have said so. He's done it before. He has publicly praised Kendrick in the past. He has acknowledged other rappers being superior. But now, suddenly he's the best. This wasn't confidence. It was contradiction. And contradictions reveal truth. Here's another pattern. When Game feels threatened, even a little bit, he rewrites the story. It happened with Eminem. He once said M was unbeatable, then later claimed M could never out-trap him. It happened with Jay-Z. It happened with 50. It happened with Dre. So when he says he wasn't coming at Kendrick, that's just stage 3. And the interview with Shannon Sharpe was stage 4. Let's break it down logically. Kendrick didn't take Game's side in a major beef. Kendrick has surpassed Game in legacy and impact. Kendrick is widely considered the greatest rapper of his generation. Kendrick is crowned King of LA by fans. Game takes any ranking personally. Game hates feeling overshadowed. Game always competes with who's on top. Add all those pieces together, and Kendrick becomes the obvious, the only target. Even Game's comment, "Y'all won't have to guess if I got a problem," is ironic because fans still can't tell what side Game chose during Kendrick's beef with Drake. He plays neutral until it benefits him. And that ambiguity, that's another Game signature. There's one thing Game said that is 100% honest. "No one can out-rap me." This belief drives everything he does. He genuinely believes. He's more versatile. He has more flows. He can adapt better. He can embody any style. He is technically superior. And in some ways, he's right. Game is incredibly talented. One of the best technicians of the 2000s. And criminally underrated when he's focused. But that confidence turns into resentment when the world crowns someone else king. So when Kendrick gets the praise Game thinks he deserves, that's when the subliminals start. Not out of hate, out of competition, pure ego, pure hip-hop. And that's why the subliminals matter. Here's the truth. Game did throw shots. He tried to deny it. The denial backfired. The interview exposed him. The contradictions confirmed everything. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was Game being Game. Emotional, competitive, prideful, contradictory, talented, chaotic, and endlessly entertaining. And whether you love him or hate him, one thing is certain. Kendrick Lamar lives rent-free in the minds of rappers who want to hold onto the West Coast crown. And Game just proved that without even meaning to. Before you go, I want to know what you think. Do you think the Game was really talking about Kendrick? Or do you believe his denial? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Remember to like this video and subscribe to this channel. I would really appreciate it. And as always, stay active.